May God continue to help you. Now, my question, I come from Owerenta. In May, there was an announcement that we are going to flag off the medical city in Mbasa, in my village, Umuchalo, Owerenta, and other areas. It's a very big desert land, which we have given to you people. I don't know why it has not been flagged off up till now. And two, sir, you have...
Okay. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please hand over the microphone to the man at the front here with the Ankara.
Your Excellency, my name is Sonny Wamposa. I want to start...
Tell us your platform, please.
I write for the Nation newspaper, sir. Your Excellency, I want to say this on a lighter note, sir, before my question. We have been witnessing several birthdays of individuals in the society. I don't know, Your Excellency, if you are equally, considering having some of our colleagues here celebrated. I think we deserve a celebration. Cover the celebration of these people outside there. So I don't think if it's a bad thing that those of us covering these birthday celebrations will equally be celebrated, Your Excellency. To my question, sir. Your Excellency, recently we saw in the news where you received reports of the NSAS, that's the Judicial Panel of Inquiry. We've waited to know the outcome of what they submitted to you. So I wouldn't know if you've had a chance to go through that and what Abians are expecting to get from the report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Steve.
Okay. Thank you, Your Excellency. Maybe you took it off from me. My name is Steve Oko, and I report for Vanguard. And Your Excellency, my good friend Guru will always say he's journalist chief, but I'm not a chief. I'm only the new chairman of Correspondent Chapel of Abia NUJ. Perhaps let me use this opportunity to inform you that, sir. All right, tonight has become a very serious night, and I wouldn't know why. My good friend from Nation Newspapers had also asked this question, but that's what we call a follow-up. He didn't put it in a proper perspective. As a guru in the profession, let me also help him out. Just 2 weeks ago, 44 Abians stormed our office. These were victims of police brutality. And Abia State government set up a judicial panel of inquiry that turned in a report recommending the sum of 500 million naira as compensation for these Abians who were innocent, who did nothing, and police dealt with them in various ways. And that was why Nigeria went on that NSAS protest. So, sir, they've been crying. Some of them were so devastated that till today, they are finding it difficult even to walk well. And it wasn't during your administration anyway, but government is a continuum, so that you can respond to that properly. My question is this. Several times, a lot of investors have come to Abia State under your watch, especially those of them from abroad. Till today, sir, can you gladly tell Abians if these people are just coming to present proposals to you or they are serious? How many of those investments have been cited in Abia and where? So that Abians will know that these efforts are, bearing the needed fruit. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I just clocked 50. Maybe you begin with me.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. Over to the governor now.
All right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for your very kind words and recommendations. The issue of medical city flag off. I think I've responded to it at the last media chat to see that we suspended it because there were a few clauses in the agreement that I wasn't comfortable with. So we have been going back and forth negotiating. It's always good to ensure that you cross all the T's and dot all the I's before you hit the ground running. If the agreement was signed the way it was, change, I would rather than sign off on a document that I'm not fully satisfied with. So I would, since it's around your village, I'm sure you can still see that work is going on in terms of the road, the access road. So we'll continue and join us in exercising patience, and it will happen any moment from now. Sonny Wanko, you talked about birthday. I don't think you are old enough. So when you hit that age when we celebrate people, I'm sure you haven't seen. Even when I turned something the other day, it wasn't celebrated. When we get to the age, maybe the age of Dr. Omelazu and the wife, you know his age, 95. Then we can now start celebrating. So don't go anywhere. Don't be in a hurry, because the state will still celebrate you. Okay. Steve said he just turned 50. Are you sure you just turned 50? Yes. You are still a spring chicken. All right. Yeah, 87. 87. Okay, remind us in 3 years. All right. But you don't look 87. Yeah, that's very good. That's very, very, very good. Well done. Keep it up. Keep it up. Tell Sonny what you are doing so that. Okay, he was referring to you. Okay, I thought he was referring to himself. All right. So congratulations. 87 is not easy, and you are still very active. That is blessing. We are going to tap from your blessing. Okay. All right. Judicial panel of inquiry, which Steve tried to explain further. We are still waiting. You know, when you receive these reports, you have to go through them and then generate a white paper. So it's in the process. And like you rightly said, it's something that happened in 2020. But we are not shying away, but we just have to do it well if we have to. The issue of investors, a lot of people come. It's not everybody that comes that will eventually put in money. But then we've made a lot of progress. The other day, I think 2 days ago, the Consul General of Denmark was here with Barnes Holding. Barnes Holding, we already have signed an MOU with them. and they're going to livestock. The problem was land, but then we've taken a decision for them to start with the available land in Itam, while we look for bigger land somewhere in Umunochi. So the process of investment takes a little bit of time. But the good news is that people are interested. There's a bottling company and a brewery that is actually ready for commissioning in Osisioma now. That's a lot of money. So once we commission it, they'll start their business. So at the point where feasibilities are being done, development is being done, you will probably not be able to account for it until it's done. So we are not in a hurry. We want it done and done properly. So some of the people that have come, we will send them back, go and do the right thing. Get all the warranties that you need to get everything done, because it's our area. We understand how these things happen. Otherwise, you have white elephant projects all over the place. None of them will be completed. We are not going to, and we are not going to be announcing what is not ready. So if we start announcing at this time, you will run away. There are so many people that are doing different things. But then until we are at that point where we are convinced that all is set, then we can now take it to the marketplace. That would be my response to the last question from Steve. I guess that's about it. Back to you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We now move over to the television. Television, yes, please. Your hand is already up. So can we give him the mic?
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Onwoka. I report from Rapid TV. My question this evening is, the 2026 budget reflects a 32% increase in capital expenditure, aiming at accelerating development across the state. However, a number of capital projects from 2014 and 2024, and 2025 fiscal year are yet to be completed. My question this evening, sir, is what specific safeguard monitoring and framework or accountability mechanism have this government put in place to ensure that challenge of not completed project does not occur in 2026? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rapid. Any other from the TV? There's a hand at the back. Please give him the mic. There's a hand at the back.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Nora Okafor. Of course, I report for Arise News. Your Excellency, my question is a follow-up to what he asked based on the budget. The 2026 budget which you presented and that's actually a very significant case. Please, I want to know how you intend to from, because I want to know how you, because my challenge is that how do you want to measure this increase? In which sectors of the economy do you want to get some of these things? Because recently I understand that some offices are now paying for radio and TV installed in their offices. So I want to know if it's part of the ways to generate income and how you want the SMEs to grow in Abia State. Thank you.
Next, and that will be the last for TV.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chinwe Ugili, and I work with News Central TV. Excellency, first I want to bring to your notice of an erosion that has devastated a community known as Amamba. It's in Uzuakole. It happened recently. I appreciate the fact that you responded to that of Alai when it happened, and you're also responding to that one that happened in Osa. Please help this very community because the erosion is actually very large. And that now takes me to my question.
You're entitled to one question.
I haven't asked a question. I only brought a notice to him. Thank you. Okay, so my question is, I know there is something called intervention fund for ecological problems. So, and Abia State, Abia Central and Abia North zones are prone to erosion. Your Excellency, I'd like to know if Abia State has been receiving its ecological funds, and so far what the government has received from the federal government. Thank you very much.
Over to you now, Your Excellency.
All right, maybe I should start with Chinwe. Ecological funds, I think that's the question. And how much the government has received. The government receives ecological funds just like every other government, and they're all published. There's no way I can sit here and tell you how much we've received. But if you are interested in it, you can hit your computer to Abia State government website, and all those numbers are published. I've taken note of the erosion in Uzuakole. Chief of Staff, please, can you note that? What name did you call that village? Amamba. Is that where you come from? Okay, all right. I want to be sure that you are not wearing a local hat. Kingsley Onwoka, you asked a question about budget. You know, I saw a lot of people who want to pretend to be opposition, attacking a budget that has not been passed, a budget that they have not read, a budget that they have not seen the facts behind the figures. And some of them are supposed to be educated people. Some even parade themselves as economists. You know, there should be some method to madness. If you want to be mad, there should be a method. You go out there, and even a former commissioner for finance was sharing it everywhere. In fact, somebody forwarded it to me that the former commissioner shared it on a platform. And I just sympathize with him. He's bringing embarrassment and shame. People are now asking him, how did you become a commissioner? So you cannot, until you have seen the numbers, until you have read the budget. And a lot of people don't even have the patience to read the budget. So they will pick up something written by, so that's okay. What I just presented were highlights to the House of Assembly. In a few minutes, I was done. But the budget itself that I laid before the House of Assembly was a bulky document. And before you can begin to pieces it, you need to read it. You cannot criticize what you have not read. So I think we need to elevate discourse in this state, because we are also spending money training people. So we can't at the same time be motor-packed out. Okay? So, Kingsley, the government, when budgets, first of all, budgets are estimates, but they are informed estimates. So when you start a road, you have a start date and a finish date. So if the road like Port Harcourt Road that started on on October 23, 2023, the finish date was supposed to be December 31, 2025. That is about 1 month from today. But because we were able to do things differently that made the contractor very comfortable, they were able to cut back delivery date to June 30, 2025. And by May 10, road. $2025. So the budget does not just cut and then, because there's another year, you start afresh. So this question you asked assumes that every project must be completed within a year. It's not true. I don't know if you understand from where I'm coming. So it is a lot of work. When you see to produce that budget, it took several sleepless nights. And I sit in the meetings. I ask questions. That is what I bring. A lot of other people won't bring it because they don't understand it. And you can't give what you don't have. But that doesn't make them any less efficient. But there must be an area where your expertise is tilted towards. So when I see uneducated people take me up on, oh, he has lied, I just laugh. So you people should also join me in laughing at such people. It's a very serious business. Okay, so there is no problem. A road has not been completed, and we already know. There's hardly any job that we give that we are allowed to go beyond that end date. We will put you under pressure. And in any case, anytime we give you a job, we ensure that we are the one owing you. So if there's a delay, it's your money you are delaying. So some people will hand over money to contractors and then be chasing contractors. We don't do that. So we don't lose sleep. If you walk away leaving your money, and nobody leaves money on the table to walk away. Nora for IGR, you are scared that 223 billion is too much money, and you are wondering where the money will come from. And you are scared that TV and radio license. I had started by explaining to us that this government is a government that believes that taxes and taxation is government's share of the prosperity it has created amongst the populace. It therefore follows that if a government has not created prosperity, it lacks the moral right to collect taxes. And that's why when we came in 2023, we gave a lot of waivers and tax reliefs until we put something on the table. So if you are living around Nonya and you see the work we are doing there, I expect that when we come and knock on your door, you will gladly pay us. If your compatriots living in some other states are paying 1,399 naira for a trip, and you are paying only 524 naira in Abia, then you can as well give us, even if it is half of that 524 naira as tax, gladly. And I try to demonstrate what something that happened in Aba. A businessman showed up and he said, we did the road that passes his house, we did it in 100 days. And that he's been begging for the road to be done. And that he has money to give us. And we got him a GR account. And the next minute, we got an alert, a lot of money. So those are people we are looking at, not TV and radio license. I'm sure you have, Nora, you have a house somewhere in GRA Aba that you haven't been paying. Now you will pay. And if you don't pay, the harmonized task force will come after you. All right, so the summary of what I'm saying is that we have done the projections well. And even if we don't get to 223 billion, we'll be very close to it. It is also possible that we will surpass it. All the businesses that are relocating, a lot of people are also relocating. You may not be able to capture them. Investors are coming. The other day we had a Turkey Abians Investment Summit. The first one to happen in the investors from Turkey were here. And they see the opportunities that I'm sure else also see. A lot of people elsewhere also look to come back. So I can assure you that we have our acts put together, and we are sure we will meet it. I guess that's about it, right?
Thank you very much, His Excellency, for that clarity on budgets. Let me remind the listeners and viewers that you can be part of this interaction by sending an SMS to the number 0907 462 1067. Thank you. Next is the radio. Okay. Over there. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Eze Chukwu Adimoha. I report for the Broadcasting Corporation of Abia State, BCA. Let me start by commending you for the ongoing resuscitation of the Aba Regional Water Scheme. Your Excellency, the question is, from this flank of the state, how soon are we expecting that such project would be replicated there, especially the Ohuhu part of Umuahia North, who have suffered untold hardship for the past few years after the premier of the defunct Eastern region, who saw potable water far back as 87. Sir, how soon are you moving the equipment over to this flank of the state? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. There is a hand here. Okay, I go in.
Your Excellency, my name is Aigoyamba. I'm the general manager of Masters 105.9 FM and Newsmasters newspaper. Your Excellency, let me start by commending you. Since I was born, I am getting old. I've not seen the state capital, Umuahia, giving a face lift. You please don't stop. My Biko. Your Excellency, my own is very short, but very, very worrisome. Few days ago, the most popular news was that our brother Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to life imprisonment. Your Excellency, after some days, you assured Nigerians that that's not the end of the road, that more constructive interventions are on the way concerning that particular case. Your Excellency, my question tonight is, what are these interventions, the level of engagement having probably with the federal government of Nigeria, and what is realistic about that? What are expectations and the expectations of Abians and Nigerians at large?
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Please take the mic, Stanley, at the front.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Mine is an appeal. My name is Stan Limba. I represent Sun FM 91.3 Berry. The appeal is coming from Ambassador Roland Diamond Okore, the chairman, Abians Law School, 2025 set. Said they've made efforts to reach out to you. They've seen the Commissioner for Tertiary Education and other people, but no response yet. Permit me please to read. We Abia Indigenes bar aspirants of the Nigerian Law School 2025 set appeal to the governor for a student bursary to enable us complete our bar final examination scheduled for December 6th. This is to affirm that we have previously communicated our needs through relevant government officials, but now deem it necessary to appeal directly to the governor. This is to emphasize that the student bursary is crucial, as many aspirants are struggling with rising costs of living, accommodation, study materials, and all the essential fees required for the without be complete their legal training. That the governor's intervention would ease these burdens and serve as investments in the state's future by developing competent legal professionals who will contribute to Abia's legal and public service sectors. The aspirants express gratitude in advance and affirm that the bursary, if granted, will be remembered as a significant act of support for education, youth empowerment, and human capital development. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
For your continued service to Abia State and for always championing the welfare of us.
Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Let's get the response, Excellency.
All right. Let me start with Stanley. Stanley, thank you for being the mouth of Roland Okore. But what it also cost you is opportunity to ask questions. Because it wasn't a question, it was an appeal. So the same advice I gave the first set of people who brought up appeals like this also goes to you. You could have just sent this to somebody that you know, Chief of Staff, Commissioner for Information, Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, or even to me. Yeah, I may see it when you send it. I may also not see it. But we had actually been intervening to support. There's only so much that we can do. If you know the number of requests, people who are vulnerable, people who need kidney transplant, those ones are life-saving. So those ones, life-threatening. So those are the things we pay so much attention to because matter of life and death. But this request, please forward it to the chief of staff to look at it. Eze Ademoha, okay, so you commended us for the Aba Regional Water Scheme. Thank you. The Ohoho one, I believe it should be in the budget for this year. What actually happened with the Omuahia Water Scheme was that we were at an advanced stage before the regime change in the United States. So, and the water scheme was supposed to be funded by, I think it was USAID, Mercy Corps. And somehow the current president canceled all those. So we went back to the drawing board. But I think we are somewhere now. So, but that of Aba, we had already concluded on it, and that's why work started from there. But beyond those, we also have acquired a rig, and we as a government have been able to intervene in different communities with the state-of-the-art rig we acquired to provide water. Water is so important, and we want to go back to those old days when you could turn on your tap and public water runs. That's where we are headed. We won't get there in one day, but we believe that we'll get there. Agoyam, Baba, thank you for all you do. We see you yearning. And then thank you for the commendation on the facelift in Omaha. We will continue. We won't fall your hand, like our people will say. And Namdekano, yes, I personally issued a release which I signed. And in that release, I disclosed as much as possible details of what I had started doing far back as December 2023. If that trial went smoothly, by last year, it would have been completed, and then the process that I talked about, activation would have happened, but then that's what it is. I'm not in a position to give you more detail than what I published. I also don't want to give you details that may jeopardize the discussions that I'm having. But suffice it to say that even before this time, I have started the discussion. And I think you should be able to believe me. Before even I issued the release, I ensured that the discussion was still on. So I'd like you to remain hopeful and prayerful so that the what we want to achieve will be achieved. I guess that's about it. Turning it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We'll now take questions sent in from our online audience. Good evening, Your Excellency. My concern is on the state of the Osisioma NNPC Depot Road, which your government graciously awarded. My governor, it appears that work stopped. Please, what's the way forward? Ekene Nwosu from Osisioma. Ekene Nwosu from Osisioma. And we have the next one. My governor, earlier this year, a police officer from IGP response team in Aba killed a man in Ugweke. The family prevailed on the police to arrest the culprit. We were later told the culprit escaped from their own cell. The same Bende, a young man died during police interrogation. Your Excellency, we want to know if you are aware of these developments. Chijoke Nna from Bende.
This is coming from. Okay, His Excellency.
Chijoke Nna from Bende. One more from John Carlo before we hand it over to you. We, the teachers of Secondary Education Management Board, have been waiting for the adjustment of the new minimum wage like our colleagues from Asubeb. John Carlo from Umuahia.
John Carlo just made a statement. He's waiting for the adjustment, right? Is there a consequential question?
I think he wants to just.
No, he's just telling us that he's waiting. He should keep waiting. All right. Okay, so I'm sure my people are listening. The adjustment of salary, I don't know why that should be a problem, because the approval was given for teachers, whether they are SMB or ASUBEB, right? So that's strange. Please, can you, Chairman ASUBEB, can you take that up and find out? His name is John Carlo, and we can get the number of John Carlo from our sister here. Chijioke, I'm not aware of this story of police and killing and all that. So if I can get more details, I would like to investigate and find out what actually the issue is. Ekene Nwosu, I don't think it's right to say that work has stopped, but the work is slow. And the reason the work is slow is that the contractor is trying to negotiate for variation. We don't like variation. But then I have instructed the commissioner for works to engage with the contractor so that we can find a solution. In fact, we discussed this about 2 days ago, and the commissioner said there was some justification for the variation, given the rates that we negotiated at that time. So I've asked him to engage with them, but once that is done, speed will return to that job. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. More questions. My name is Vaughn Obiebunam. I run a registered orphanage in the name Victims of Need Social and Motherless Babies Home or Children's Home, number 54. Okay, so we do not need to.
Okay. Another question here. Our working governor, please, a notice has been in circulation and I have also been served. Please, did you order that Abians should remove all their functional extinguishers they have in their homes, offices, and businesses areas, and they must buy only an approved brand or fire extinguisher from a particular vendor known as Master Base Global Venture? This is from Kingsley from Afara.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Thangod, a disabled lawyer in the Ministry of Justice. I love your intentional development of our state. I was diagnosed of secondary heart failure due to valvular heart disease and need urgent heart surgery for valve replacement and repair of thoracic aneurysm at Fortis Escort Heart Hospital, Okla, India. I can't afford the medical cost of about 36 million naira. Please, sir, save my soul. I am in distress and pain.
Okay, so you need to go through these questions before bringing them. I don't think that's why we are here. You go through, if this should be sent to the Honorable Commissioner in charge of poverty alleviation and social protection. So that we don't spend our time here attending to nothing. So go through, vet it. If it's not qualified to be tabled here, you move on. And if you don't have any more questions, then we can call it a day.
We have more questions, sir. Sorry about that. Okay. Your Excellency, sir, we bring to your notice the exclusion of animal health and environmental health workers from your recent ASH-WAS approval for health workers in the state. We appeal for your intervention to get them included. We are members of the Nigerian Association of Animal Health and Husbandry Technologists.
Stay there. I think we should. Is appealing to me, so I don't have. Okay, I've had the appeal. All right, so we can actually call it a day.
That's all, sir.
I think so.
That's all the questions, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your response.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we'll return the microphone to His Excellency for his closing remarks, please.
All right, if you don't mind, can we have some quiet a little bit? We are just about to close, and I want to thank all of you who participated, those at home and those who are here. Thank you. Those that asked questions, thank you for your questions. Obviously, there are a lot of appeals. So what I would ask the moderators to do is to compile these appeals, hand them over to Ferdinand, who would now take them to the appropriate quarters. I had indicated that a lot of times we get these requests from people who need help, and we are responsible enough to extend as much help as we can. But you know, this is also government. We can only do what our budget for social protection can accommodate. So I also want to call our attention to the fact that in a few days, it will be December. And we know what happens with December. So we have to be more security conscious. You are the chief security officer of your environment. So please don't take security for granted. As a government, we are doing everything possible to continue to have a safe environment. Yesterday, we had a Security Council meeting, and we were also lucky to be joined by the newly posted General Officer commanding 82 Division in Enugu, General Fadairo, who came to meet with us, introduce himself to us, and we appeal to him to give us as much support as he can. The good news is that in the state here, we have very committed service commanders, from the Army to the Navy, to the police, to the civil defense, all of them. So, and we are working very closely. So if you see something, say something. Intelligence is the most important part of security. So, and if you don't give all the information, it will be difficult for us to help you. But like I said, take charge of the security around your area. But don't be afraid, because if you introduce fear, then you have failed. So I thought I should re-emphasize that. So having said that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you so much for participating in this media chat this evening. And I hope to see you again by this time next month, either before or after. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we draw the curtain on this edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. Thank you for joining us on the program. The national anthem, please.